So for the case 1 problem, Vergara Appliances Company is contemplating the production and sales of rice drying mechanisms on an experimental basis over the next 6 months. So the machine manufacturing cost and selling price are estimated to change from month to month. So it cannot sell any compactors in July and it does not manufacture any in December. So the following tables presented these forecast costs and prices. Then all dryers produced in a given month are shipped out in a large load at the end of the month. So the company can sell as many as 300 units per month, but its operation is limited by the size of its warehouse, so which holds a maximum of 100 compactors. So Vergara has no inventory on hand at the start of July and wants to have no on-hand inventory at the end of the test period in December. So Vergara's operation manager, Buknoy, must determine how many rice dryers to make and sell each month in order to maximize the firm's profit. So formulate and solve this problem as a linear programming scheduling model, and how much profit is the company earning at its maximum. So after inputting the values, which is P stands for production, and S stands for sales, and I stands for July. So we have 18 variables and 25 constraints. So after inputting this, -60 and other values, the way of solving it is by just clicking solve. Then the answer will follow. So therefore, the solution is 93,000. So the question is, how much profit is the company earning at its maximum? So based on the linear programming Excel solver, so the maximum that can companies earning is 93,000. So that's all. Thank you for watching.
Hello, good day. This is Miss Lim from BSIE 4A. So this presentation solves case problem 3 using Microsoft Excel Solver. So this is an assignment problem where 10 astronauts are assigned to 10 missions to maximize the total suitability rating. So as seen here in the case problem 3, we have a given of 10 mission specialists, which is from Vince to Dirtina, and a 10 missions from January 12 and to September 19. A rating also from 1 to 10. So the required is who should be assigned to which flight to maximize the rating. Second is it has now been received that Anderson is getting married in February and granted a highly coveted publicity tour of Europe for the same month. How does this affect the final schedule? That's why I included here in the given part B Anderson unavailable for Feb 5 and Feb 26. Okay, to solve for this case, I had prepared here a solver model. I just included this table is just the same with the ratings, just on zero values. And also I have inserted a column sum and a row sum summary for the total rating. A value of 1 means the astronaut is assigned to the mission and 0 otherwise. So here it is still 0 because we haven't done anything yet. And for the objective function is the total rating computing the sum of the product. So we have to add here, which is first the sum of the product, the ratings, which is we made here, the tab here, the ratings, and the values, which is B2 to K11, as per mentioned earlier. Okay. And so that's it. For the constraints, we have to open our solver here. From home, we go to the data here, and then we click the solver.
So hi again, I just noticed from editing the video, the pop-up of the solver wasn't showing in the screen. So I just recorded it using my phone. So to set the objective, since we have set the objective here in the M13, I just pressed the cell here, M13, it already showed. And then the changing variables would be, let's see, from this to this. So that's B2 to K11. And then we chose the simplex LP. And then let's set objective to max, and then let's add our constraint. First constraint is we want our row summary to be equivalent to 1. Since we want also for our column summary, because we want them to only have one assignment per astronaut. So let's have first here to here equivalent to 1. And let's add another, which is from here to here. Is that right? B12 equals to 1. Add. So for our binary constraint here, for these zeros inside, let's highlight this B2 to K11, and then let's put this in integer so that we'll have the value 1. Okay, add. And then the same thing from B2 to K11, we want it to be less than or equal to 0, but greater than or equal to 1. Still this one. Okay, add. Solve. And then, okay, and then we already have a rating here, which is 96.
Here are the assignments. You can see here, on January 12, we have Tritrina. On January 27, we have Zasts. On February 5, excuse me, we have Herbert. On February 26, we have Anderson. March 26 is Vince. April 12 would be Viet. And on May 1, we have Moses. On June 26, we have Plain. June 20 is Brandon. And on September is Certo. So that would be for the part A.
And then for the second is we have we have two constraints, which is Anderson is getting married in February, and we have 2 Februarys here, the February 5 and February 26. So what we will have to do now is we still go back our data and our solver, and then we add a constraint here. So the constraint is first Anderson on February 5 is equals to 0. And then another is on 26, Anderson is also equals to 0. Oh wait, and then we run and solve this with the added constraints. So now we have a result, our total rating of 92.
So we can still see here the values.
So after restricting Anderson from February missions, the total rating decreased to 92. This demonstrates how additional constraint reduces the optimal value in assignment problems. So that would be all. Thank you so much.
So good day, I'm Aiza Lanata. So this video presents an information system-based simulation addressing a transportation optimization problem. It is in case problem 5, transportation optimization problem faced by Aizal Factories. It is a nationwide medicine distribution company operating across Canada. So Aizal Laboratory serves over 800 total retail outlets that are supplied twice weekly through a network of regional warehouses. So these warehouses receive daily shipments from 7 manufacturing factories that produce approximately 70% of all products in a supply chain. So due to increasing demand and persistent delivery backlogs, company management has identified the need to establish an additional warehouse. So the logistic challenge is modeled as transportation problem, right? So the system includes 7 factories, 13 existing warehouses, and 3 potential locations for a new warehouse, the Montreal, Toronto, and Winnipeg. So in each factory has a fixed production capacity. So each warehouse has a defined demand, and each factory to warehouse route has an associated transportation cost per carton. So the objective of this simulation is to determine the minimum transportation cost using the existing 13 warehouses and identify any unused factory capacity and select the optimal location for the 14th warehouse. So, in our system initialization, at this stage, the information system will initialize the transportation model. So, the system loads the unit transportation cost matrix, then factory supply values, and warehouse demand requirements. So we can see in each factory is treated as a supply node, while each warehouse is treated as a demand node within the system. So we have our last column is dummy column for the demand and supply. So before optimization begins, all supplies and demands remain unchanged, and no shipments have been allocated. So the system is now prepared to apply the Vogel's approximation method. So in Vogel approximation method begins, we will now begin by calculating the penalty values. So for each factory row, the system identifies the two lowest transportation costs and compute the penalty as their difference. So some procedure is applied to each warehouse column. So these penalties represent the potential cost increase if suboptimal allocation is made. So the system then compares all rows and column penalties, selects the highest penalty for allocation property. So after selecting the highest penalty, the system locates the lowest cost cell within the chosen row or column. So the maximum feasible number of cartons is allocated to this cell based on the minimum of remaining factory supply and warehouse demand. So now, for this, once the allocation is made, the system updates supply and demand values accordingly. So any factory or warehouse that reaches zero remaining supply or demand is removed from further consideration. So the system then recalculates penalties for the reduced matrix, then repeats the allocation process. So at each step, the allocated quantity is multiplied by the unit cost, then the result is added to the cumulative transportation cost. So this iterative procedure continues until all warehouses demands are fully satisfied. So we have 10 iteration. So using Vogel's approximation method, the system generates a near optimal shipment pattern for the existing 13 warehouses. Then the resulting solution produces the minimum transportation cost under the given supply demand constraint. So in this, we will now add 3 columns for the 3 location, the Toronto, Montreal, then the Winnipeg. Then this will be presenting the demand, then the supply. So Toronto, Montreal, then Winnipeg will have a demand of 300 each. So the simulation also reveals the one manufacturing factory is not utilized at 100% capacity. So this occurs because its transportation routes have relatively higher costs, making it less favorable in the optimized allocation. To determine the best location for the new warehouse, the simulation repeated 3 times, since each run represent one potential location. So Montreal, Toronto, then the Winnipeg. So for each, the warehouse demand and the corresponding transportation costs are added to the system. So Vogel's approximation method is then applied to calculate the total transportation cost for each alternative. So the information system compares the total transportation cost across the 3 scenarios. So among Montreal, Toronto, and Winnipeg, the Toronto location consistently produces the lowest overall transportation cost. So this result indicates that Toronto provides the most efficient balance between factor supply, warehouse demand, and transportation distance. So therefore, based on the result of the simulation, Toronto is identified as the optimal location for warehouse number 14. So for this, in conclusion, so this information system demonstrates how Vogel's approximation method supports data-driven logistics decisions by minimizing the cost and identifying unused capacity and guiding strategic warehouse expansion. So that's all for this video. Thank you po.